Okay, everyone, good afternoon. And thank you, by the way, for being here with us today. Well, as you have seen here, making it to this day has been, or has meant actually a lot of intense work. But we do it also out of love, because this is it. I mean, we're folks who like this topic, who like this business, who like this market, so I do it gladly. So let's do this, everyone. Let's see what we have here today for you. So right now, we decided actually to have, at the very start of our pre-conference meeting, this conversation with Marcus Villa, because as you all know, we have our representative, Siga-nos, and we have here the pitch contest. And at the end of the world tour that we had in September, we had 33 stops all over the world, and a number of places here in the Americas, and we had it in Brazil and Latin America. We had Europe also. Each country was represented. We also had folks from Africa, two panels more specifically, China also, 3 cities, Beijing, Shanghai. We also were in Japan and Singapore. So the ITC this year, in its world tour, had 33 stops, a truly sensational set of meetings, as I'd said before. When we did it here at home, we had a good idea. And if you really want to learn more about the market in Indonesia, we can see that here, from your homes, from the comfort of our homes. And at the end of it, at the end of each one of these stops, we chose a winning pitch. We had 5 contestants, and SEG5 then ended up being the winner, and they are representing us, therefore, in these 3 days in the pitch tournament, which is now a global event. We have, obviously the votes and help of all Brazilians who are here with us. But more than that, we decided to shed some light on SEG5, and more specifically on the job that Marcus has been doing for so many years now, more than 30 years, right, Marcus? And so we decided to have this special moment. So let's hear a little more from Marcus. Let's try and understand and actually make really Marcus earn your vote. And let's then tell a little bit about his story. And each one of you will have 3 days to cast your vote. There's actually a web address in which you can cast that vote at ITC Global. They have a specific web page there. And you will listen to those pitches, and you can assign them, a given number of stars. And at the end, they do the computation, the calculations, and we ask you to help us with that. So let's now see a little bit about Marcus Roque Villa and how he's made it here. So, Marcus, take it away from there. Hello there, Heitor. Doing fine here. Thank you very much. By the way, I could never start a presentation without first thanking everyone, and more specifically our friends from the ITC, Samara, Jose Prado, Gustavo too, evidently a very kind person. You too, Heitor. This is truly fantastic. So again, and right off the bat, let me say that I would like to thank you so very much for everything that is going on here. And so, since it's been a long time now, I mean, since I've been in this market here, working with insurance, let me tell you a little bit about my story here. Well, can you please start telling us about the origin of SEG5 and how this company came to be what it is today? Hey, yeah, I can surely do that. I've been in the market since 1992, so way back there I started working more specifically with insurance, and that's what I've been working with, since then. And in 2012, if I'm not mistaken, we introduced a significant innovation in the market, which is called Meu Seguro Novo, or My New Insurance. It's basically a website to, in which you can look at insurance prices. So sometime in 2014 or 2015, we began introducing changes here in our business. The company that I had up to that moment, which was called Villa D. And we realized that we really had to switch things around a little bit and change our mindset. and which was and actually this was actually something that all of the other speakers alluded to earlier in their talks. In 2014 and 2015, we did actually that. We looked outside of our box, if you will. And I have to thank my partner at the time, by the way, who's currently my partner today, by the way, and a shareholder, as a matter of fact, who's also my son. And we were able to really turn things around here in 2014 and 15. And in 2017, I ended up finding that in this market, we needed to introduce another change, to maybe dare and try to do something new, something different. So we went out of the market with this idea of finding companies, that with which we might develop some synergy to maybe do some joint work, maybe a merger. And this ended up happening in 2017. So we went out and we were able to find some great partners, by the way. I talked to some of them. Some of them things worked well. Some of them things just didn't work that well. But in the end, I could gather another two companies together, which were Caraca and Neosoft. Caraca from Minas Gerais and Neosoft here from Francisco Beltrão here in the state of Paraná. So I talked to these two businesses, and we reached an agreement, shook our hands, and started operating in 2017, late 2017 to be more specific, as one single company. And we've actually kept the name SegFi, which is a name that we already had, since quite a number of years. So we actually had an entirely new business, different mindset, and a startup to really try and attract new investors. So it's been a great experience. The process, went very well. And I should also stress to those of you who are here, and also my thanks to the folks from Neosoft, Elmir and Nelson, our shareholders with SegFi. I also have to thank Pedro, Paulo, and Renato from Kotaká, again, who are also here working at SegFi. Leonardo, my son, who's also a shareholder at SegFi. And throughout the process, I had to thank Gelson, who came a little later. He joined us a little later. And today he is also a shareholder with SegFi. So thank you all very much to those of you who've been really instrumental to make it to where we are today. So that's just a quick, oh, what's that? Oh, okay, excellent. But please tell us now, Marcus, about this initial moment there in 2017 specific. What is it that SegFi offered to its customers? In 2017, we began offering an ERP system, basically, and the other two companies that were with us offered, calculation software. So we basically, created after the merger, we basically combined all of our products and systems into one single product, which is called SegFi today, and we decided to basically, offer it to the market. We call it integrated calculation management. So that's what we are selling today to the market, and we also have another important element to it, which is statistics. And today we have a big number of brokers in our database, which produces quite a bit of information as well. And that has allowed us to grow and also to provide better help to insurance brokers. Can you please give us an idea of the size? How many insurance companies are there in your system with you? How many users do you have also working with you or who are currently using SegFi? Yes, we have more than 3,200 insurance brokers registered with us using SegFi. Today we have more than 12,000 users also in the system. So each insurance broker counts as a customer, but inside each one of those brokerage firms, you have a number of different users. And an interesting element here is the focus that we have here, which has been in small to medium insurance brokers. So we are here actually to help small and medium insurance brokers. Because oftentimes I've heard people say, Heitor, those of you who are watching us here today might have heard that as well, that kind of conversation that, we're not going to have any insurance brokers anymore because, digital has come to stay. But we're here actually to give them a big hand. This is really what we decided to do, Heitor. That's great. So let me just insist on a point here. How many insurance companies that you have with you? Oh, yes. Forgot about that element. I'm sorry about that. So today we have 17 insurance companies with us. And, car, trucks, residential, and we are actually expanding our portfolio every day. Our team here is truly fantastic, and they're really tireless. I mean, they never stop. These guys are working around the clock, thinking about SegFi and thinking about how to improve the product and how to improve the lives of insurance brokers. That's really great. But then you spoke here to us at the ITC. You presented a pitch in which you talk about the future, talk about your future plans, and you talk about the things that you intend to become as a business. Can you please let us know what is really in the core of this pitch that everyone will watch? And a lot of people have watched it, as a matter of fact. So in your own words, where's the goal for SegFi? Where's your destination? That's a good question. Let me actually make a comment here, because when we talk about mergers, oftentimes people will think how complex it is for you to combine three different organizations. So if I can just talk a little about that, sure, please go ahead. So this has been an interesting challenge. The process that we went through, and we were quite successful at it, thanks to the shareholders again who are today with SegFi, and we were able to combine our cultures, our products, and our personnel as well. It was a nice experience. But I'm saying that because sometimes, for those of you who are watching, it might be thinking about doing something along these lines. And let me warn you here, be very careful with culture, because this is really, a big job here. If you decide to go for a merger, just as yeah, no, that's a great comment. Okay, so let me try and do this. I think the main point behind the pitch, and please do watch. I think it's phase 2, and this is actually where we are today here at SegFi, because we went through this process, a phase 1, as we call it, and which was about really having a more widespread presence in the insurance market. We did that. So today we are present in every single Brazilian state, more than, I think that 3,500 municipalities. So that was phase 1. And now in phase 2, Heitor, as I said in the beginning of my presentation, we are here to help insurance brokers. Ever since I founded this company back in 1992, this was really the goal back then. This was really the purpose at that time, to really help insurance brokers. And obviously, as you grow and as you open up your mind, you begin to see other possibilities and other situations. And I think it is very important to say here that we work based on a specific purpose. And our purpose is to protect the future of people, of individuals, and to help them grow financially. And how can we do that? Well, we can do that by allowing people to be in better contact with insurance and to understand what insurance is, because it is a complex product. And this is also part of our purpose, to decrease the complexity of insurance as a product. And I think that financial protection is really what moves us here. It's really something that is in our DNA, as we oftentimes say, and this is what we're here for. And how do we do that? And where are we going to, right? So if you look at phase 2, which is where we are today with SegFi, we are trying to basically be in a marketplace in such a way to include small insurance brokers, because oftentimes they don't have the strength, or sometimes they don't know too much about technology. They might know too much about social media, about marketing tools. You see, they might not be that familiar with all of that. And this is what we're here for, to really strengthen these guys. So insurance brokers, they are, the people that we work for and with. And our focus today, and this is what we've been working with at SegFi, and we have partners working with us, and we also have, insurance brokers and also insurance companies working with us in this format. We're also investing, Heitor. This is also an interesting point, by the way, and an important one, by the way. We are investing quite a bit now in this channel in 2020. We've just completed phase 1 in 2019. In 2020, we're now working very hard, investing quite a bit on this distribution channel to really make things easier, to have small insurance brokers, in equal standing with the big players in the market, who are, evidently, taking full advantage of digital businesses. So, or the digitization of businesses. This is an important element to stress, by the way. It is not a trivial thing. I mean, you yourself are an enthusiast. I mean, you're actually beyond the degree of sensei, right? In this distribution channel. And Gustavo, actually, yeah, he said that he likes to call you that, right? So again, you know what the challenges are, and it's many of them actually, but here we are, working very strongly, as I said, developing the products to get it done. So that's to really penetrate this market and to really try and connect those who are trying to buy insurance and those who are trying to sell insurance. And and if you let me, I'll keep talking. No, no, by all means, yes, go ahead. I mean, people are listening to you and they want to learn more about your product. Yeah, but whenever you want to, me to stop you, just let me know. No, no, you're doing well. Please keep going. Okay, so this is the process we're going through right now to try to connect people who are trying to buy insurance with people who are trying to sell insurance, and that's insurance brokers, right? So that's the bridge we are building here. Sometimes I try to compare this bridge that we are building here with the fact that, you know, uh, because sometimes someone is trying to go from A to B, for instance, and we are the technology that connects them between A and B. And that's what we are. You see, we are here to connect A and B. And this is not something that, came to be what it is today or yesterday. No, it all started back in 2014 when we really switched our mindset there at SegFi. And it's not a trivial job, I should add. I mean, it's really a lot of work, but we do believe, 200% of this model, and specifically here in Brazil, in which the culture of insurance hasn't been that disseminated. I mean, we still have quite a bit of work to do here in our country. And if you look at the number of people with insurance here of cars, for instance, we are lagging behind terribly. There's a huge, huge opportunity here, not to mention the other, types of insurance. So I see that we have an extraordinary market ahead of us. And I would say to you that ever since I began working with insurance, I have seen this market and it excites me every day. It's a truly fantastic market because we have huge growth possibilities here, truly phenomenal. I mean, obviously, we do have our obstacles, but again, we have to overcome those obstacles, whatever they may be. Yes, and being excited about it is very important too, Marcus. I have no doubt about that. So let me, repeat again where we are. Okay, so we need the votes of all of you, my dear Brazilian friends, to have SegFi as, the best pitch in the pitch context that the ITC is organizing. We did a Brazilian round, and we had 5 pitches presented. SegFi was the winner. And now, between today and Wednesday, they are competing against another 32 countries or pitches from 32 other countries. This is an open voting process, by the way. The winner is the one that gets most votes, and we are here asking all of our dear friends in the audience and all of our friends who might not even be here to please, I'm going to read the address here. It's itcglobal-event.com/world tour voting. World world dash tour dash voting. And you should be able to find it. And in there, you're going to have all the pitches. SegFi representing Brazil is one of them, and you have to watch, by the way, the video, and then you have to assign preferably 5 stars to it, and that'll count as your rating. So the votes will be counted, and after the ITC is over on Wednesday, the result will be published, and we're doing all we can for SegFi to, take that trophy back home with them, for the global meeting as a representative from Brazil. Thank you, Heitor. Can I just add another comment here, if I may? Yeah, sure, go ahead. So from what I'd seen before, I think it's today and Wednesday, right, all the way to Wednesday, the voting. Oh, I see. So it's going to be open for everyone to cast their votes. Yes, by all means, everyone registered. Look, I actually have the impression, and I'm saying this because in my browser, I've bookmarked everything. So because when I sign up here, they didn't ask me for any proof. In this address that I just said here, itcglobalevent.com/world tour voting. And I guess anyone can go there and cast a vote. I mean, I couldn't see that because my browser already has some of those cookies, but we're going to maybe give it a shot to see if anyone can actually cast a vote there. I think in principle it is an open vote, Heitor. I actually ran a test with some of the folks who are here too. Detail is that on a cell phone, it seems that people are not able to vote, using a cell phone. Oh, I see. It doesn't, you can't cast your vote. Yes. It says that you've actually voted on it, but it might be looking at the link from the cell phone carrier. But I'm not sure if it's a flaw in the system anyhow. But again, through it, oh, I didn't try that. Okay, I tried it only on my laptop. Okay, yeah, so you'd better try it on your computer, right? Yeah, please try it using your computer. And just another quick comment here, if I may. I know time is short here, but again, if I may say this, you talked a little about SAG-FI and a vote, and then asking people to vote for SAG-FI. And look, I got to tell you this, and let me be very transparent. I think that today we are speaking for Brazil. So obviously, if you watch it and you like it, yes, and obviously, if you think we are worthy of your vote, please vote on us. But today, as I said, we are representing Brazil. And I think that every time a Brazilian or a Brazilian organization is on the limelight, the better it is for everyone, and it also, turns investors' heads in our direction. Okay, Tor, go ahead. No, not a problem. And look, by the way, I'm not sure, and I'm going to actually ask another question here in our chat, and I'll ask you this question soon. But just to add to what you were saying here, Marcus, Marcelo Blanc also spoke a little about that earlier. We are, without a doubt, we are, the eyes of the world are looking at us, and specifically the eyes of, global insurance companies, because we are oftentimes indicated as a nation that has to be in the eyes of everyone because of the, fact that we have still a lot of opportunities here. And when I look, and that in itself also tries to catch a lot of eyes. And the vote that we're looking at here, and to ask you to vote for Marcus, this actually means also to get those heads turning over here in our direction in Brazil. But let me just go back to another point that we discussed earlier, and this is something that I'd like to stress. I mean, you spoke a little about that, but I saw on some of your materials that there was it seems to me at least, a central question here to the way you work, which is, about working humanely. I mean, looking at the commitments of each individual or their position. Final question being, are you happy working with us? Because we want to work with happy people here. Can you please go over that a little bit, elaborate on that a little bit? Yes, by all means, Heitor, because this is really the thing that, that really makes you get there, working with people and working with human beings. And we have three values here at SAG-FI, three values. First value is abundance, which basically means everyone has to win here in our operations. Everyone has to be happy in any given operation, because then it really happens, as you said there, Ito. And I usually say I'd have to get up in the morning, wanting to do it, really available to do it, willing to do it. Because otherwise, if that doesn't happen, something might not be good for you. I mean, you might be making a mistake here, so I think this is one of the first values that I have here at SAG-FI. You have to be engaged in win-win-win situations. And the third value is believing in people. And when you try to connect these, one cannot survive without the other. So we really need to have people who are driven, people who are motivated, people who are restless, people who are constantly on a hunt, as I said before. And this was actually discussed by the other speakers. It's really about going there, seeing things for yourself. This meeting in Las Vegas, I remember that a long time ago, I used to work with infrastructure, IT infrastructure. So I went there, to see, what's going on, what people are doing, because this really opens up your mind to a number of possibilities. And you can really start seeing things differently. And this is it. I mean, we want people who are constantly on a hunt, people who are restless, trying to learn, trying to do that extra thing. And you have to believe in people. And it can't be different than that. I mean, how can I actually have someone, if I can't believe, what he can do, if I can't help him develop, right? So as the CEO here at SegFi, every day I talk about this here. I really go over that over and over because a big company can only be built if you have fantastic people around. And today at SegFi, we have a team that I am proud of. You see, people, and I'm really, happy to say that to speak about my team, truly fantastic team. And I call them our employees as SegFiers, right? They're the ones, who are, traveling with us, who are in this journey with us. So, I mean, obviously, uh, I always thank them every day. Every one of them, mentally at least, every one of the SegFiers working with us in this journey. That's great. Just trying to see here if we have any questions here from the chat box. So the question here is, how did SegFi prepare its solution for LGPD? Can you go over that? Yeah. Look, ever since the old days, this has been a big concern that we have had. I mean, I at least, because customer data is really, a sacred thing. The same way as an employee's salary is sacred, data for our customers is also sacred. So this is something that we had always been very careful about. And now for LGPD, we've actually signed up an office who's an expert on LGPD to really assist us and see whether we were in compliance with this legislation. LGPD is a Brazilian legislation on customer data protection. So yes, we are indeed very well prepared, and we have actually engaged in some actions. This is an ever, it's a constant effort. It's something that doesn't stop here at SegFi. That's really good. Okay, Marcus, I guess we did what we had to do here, but let me try and wrap this up now. But actually, before we wrap it up, can you please tell me, how you and your partners and your executive directors are looking at this possibility of representing Brazil? I mean, how do you feel about it? What are your thoughts on that? To be now the representative from Brazil at a global event from Curitiba to the world. So, how do you see that? I have another 30 minutes, right, Heitor? Okay, wonderful. So let me do this. Look, this is really fantastic, and I'm really immensely happy. And this is also the outcome of a lot of hard work, because sometimes, you look at, you see people there and you look at them, okay, so, but I mean, it's really meant a lot of hard work, before we got here. And again, it's all about the people that I'm working with. Everyone that was ever involved here with me in this journey, people who've made a difference in my life and in the lives of my shareholders, people who've helped us, more specifically our clients, and truly fantastic individuals. And I'm eternally grateful for them, our clients, and also former clients who, for some reason, are no longer our clients, because maybe they've grown and they've, grown, say, the wings for them to fly even higher. But again, eternal gratitude here. I'm very grateful for being where I am today, in this business. And I have to thank, by the way, folks who were there, the other startups who were competing with us. Truly fantastic guys, by the way. Yes, so thank you very much, everyone. We left off now with SegFi as the chosen one, but there's a lot of good stuff happening here, a lot of good people working here, truly fantastic. So again, I'd like to thank them just as well, the other folks who competed with us. And let me thank you guys once again, Heitor, everyone here. Truly happy for having been invited here. Everyone from SegFi. SegFi is obviously, rooting for me. And it's been really exciting for us to see that, and even to be here, representing, our country. I mean, in Heitor, it's not only SegFi. I mean, we're not only talking about SegFi anymore, in this meeting. We're talking about Brazil here, because, we were able to, we ranked first. I mean, obviously, if we win this thing, we'll obviously have some, investors turning their heads in our direction, as I said before. Every time a Brazilian company is in the limelight, if you will, and it's really, this is really exciting, and this is all about Brazil, and we are Brazilians. It's a fantastic, wonderful nation, and we have to work with pride, honestly, evidently, to really get this country to grow and to become an even better country, which is really what I believe we deserve. It's a fantastic country, continental-sized country. I say that oftentimes. So I'm very proud because of that, Heitor. And I'm obviously very humble here as well, because we know very well that we still have a lot to do, a long path ahead of us. And obviously, we do count on the help of our dear and beloved insurance brokers. I think that, okay, that's the message I had for everyone. My dear insurance brokers, thank you so very much for everything that you have allowed us to do, with me and then with SAGFI as well, in our nearly 30 years that we've been in this market. Thank you.